Committee. Former Deputy Finance Minister. Abena Osei, yeah, he's on a Public Accounts Committee chairperson. We need DVA boss.
I think that me and I have never been a fan of the so-called Public Accounts Committee, because I think I some sort of a drama committee or more Ghana for before over the years. Issues no bar on become Ghana for but subsequently no, you don't see anything of importance if you move back. Because what's in a Public Accounts Committee now had near my own folding in as a forum sometimes Ottawa Wabamukurabu, but it's good so this time around. I think the initiative of President Muhammad Yaba says some of these cases will be prosecuted, you know, including the Auditor General's report, you know. I think and some of us has up but the drama that unfolded, you know, now it's funny. And I'm Ghana for say you see, you have been through a point that there is a reason why Ghana for ain't taking some politicians serious anymore. Because I heard the kind of banter and a course between this woman and their friend saying DVLA boss. Now the kind of question and as a former, to me it appears some sort of a personal kind of as a be personal issue. And the way she was speaking, you know, so nimna, you might think so, oh, this is Obia or you know mind who ye and somebody sitting before a committee there. Or so bisa those incisive critical questions or pushing the panel and so on. But when you flip the coin, now who the panel or bisa that question, and then you begin to ask yourself, this is the same person about 10 months ago. Now your deputy finance minister ewa Ghana, can Ofori or your fugitive. And now we've done it from my movie. Ninsem who not turn a chrome her D na or no mammy when a turn a so the questioner, the ordinary person will ask you, say, what credibility? If I know, all of a sudden you are behaving like as a New Year's Antoine that has come to town, or briefing with nationalism, patriotism. She is there to guide and protect the estate. But can no for it and some my boy, yeah, bossy am boy, yeah, nyansa ni my we're gonna quattro be mindful as a phone, you deputize that particular person. And your neck, Obana be try hope oh yeah, things different. The people will see you for who you are. And I think that these are some of the things that they be a general in Kase. So what baby now they are making sure say you do it right and leave a good legacy. And your China Obana say you can't say you see he who comes into equity must come with clean hands. Then you come with that clean hand. But this is somebody who history in us for a Kase you can't there is no way can ne whatever ever cause this woman will not pop up in any way. That say oh na say ye heard the course say sa nema we na course wa na what answer wo yes adema which means adwem papa wo team anka obetime the right thing because me committee not so papa politician team wo bra wo opposition that is the thing and the question now what public na no anya we nkwa me hwe one public account committee or to bisa question kolebu for ba yi and or I say or tiantiam as if say like or you very passionate about our mind and I say this woman one of the key architects of my way and say Ghana is serious country be a committee okay what is special prosecutor you investigating as for so I think say Adrian Papa say we betimi na committee anim abisa very incisive questions I push CEOs and other people questions I yent say they are holding and that kind of energy be bisa I didn't say we nya kwanya to young father same energy mfanya adwuma na mo ye de bedi nsemu na bo man no so I think that is where the credibility element in our politics and the shifty amount for answer that we need.
But only say for resistance he said one will be formed bears it no oma award contract with DVLA honomo edemacophobia omode say number plate more than millions like millions aba yeah when the ban was a system no now 2021 2025 was a sum enti ye nyusu enti obi contract na mo imported by
say it's business as usual I don't who bank ani gidigidi afa na personal to as okay no
unya ba me da se bele obi a hwene fatana nim se wa hu obi a hwene fatana nim nti no de wadi ni bone no onu mom ne ye ye den ye chi no enti no to send Ivan kan yi no Ken Ofori Attah issue there say Abama ya discuss bebre but menye sure say ni deputy no issue about enti ene no the oye because of say ye ni bibia eche say ono no wadi body what you say enti ene ya ono che ho ma or interrogate obi or ye clean. Even crash I would be court until say court be buano for no nipa no wuntim nka say why boni me say no ye so enra ade ba kwa na me ka say eno nso kire say ma appointment wahu ono nso confidence na say otimi nya confidence because yeah ade a na efa wow sector ho nti onye hwe ochi ase wonye boni bia ne wo ye bisa afri honom no nso ye niema efri wa waso ye ho ne den eba efa woman ankasa no ne posture ene de ye betimi aka ho asem because oba ankasa sa wachi ase the way obi a otu wanima bema onte say na obi papa na wo timi biwa no
ekasa me wa verting ya bisa question ni bio no see you were surprised you were not expecting that question from o colleague MP so
yeah me ma hear video na ono so o can the same thing o can similar thing say ono so no expected that question no what you say but no no you ono ne de ne we nso ye wo so obi de so nti no o china bi no say obi aso ne onso call public account committee na new no so you prepare
you don't sit there to be bullied when you can speak and also is another thing
you prepare because wunim nipa on no ekohia now so what prepare ye because o say okay DVLA boss na I think say one question lady no bisa ya na ma we say no buy the security features are all can ho asem and no ko bisa say ebe contain say name ana what you say no okay say da bi be mfa edi emmo number plate but un say nyina nso yahu bi me kra de ha ya kra ma hu A+ ono ne ka A+ ma hu noko 1 na nsan this last week. What you say?
Customized.
Customized. So no aniwasem. So whenever you are going, you also prepare say adena okwa akoka ho asem unim ne wo ye den okwa akoka so that say koba ne say nipa no
enu ka say ubuli nipa no.
Say
we are kwa prepare.
Yeah.
But you know you demean and say posture towards a nipa no. As a frustrating no. As a ubuli nipa no.
Say and make us say eba na eno a ye be kan because the lady no ekire eye no enchire ni bi what you say that is a social moral issue eno no ye betimi aka ho asem say e bi a enu kwan so kasa be ma ho sa na say nye be ma kra say oyonko ba na wona no nya sa banta na you know say ono so be keka bi a kire what you say because you oye no kame akwa che say personal attack bi ana say owo personal interest bi wo or personal interest bi wo case nu what you say because only personal interest say na wo ka say be me ma contract bi wo ho no ansa na be ja ho akwa only personal interest you won't behave like that say Ghana ni na oche kuroketu anu mu no ene ne achi kurokese mu ayache ne taxes ede ama obi ene woni na ide woni na ahia nti wo no o represent sa Ghana ni no question anko obi meche e bia men kan say sunyane obebisa no ne wo ye this mandate na ma say bisa so you are asking men can say because woni ya ma sa kwanya no sa nipa na nko obebisa ye ma na kwanya o cha say enti no on take no too personal wa won say na din say but me mom ne me ka kire ya pontis ye say before obekọ no make sure say won so what prepare ye woni ne okoka and sometimes no ye won sam bi ho a o kan enene ma ema nipa no kwan mo no so ebisa o questions bi what you say because e bi ase wan koka say e bi security features na me nye sure say bi anko be bisa that further questions no
okay Madam Lucius Samfa, a member of NDC communication team and Abena Ivan Innocent Mr.
Very important and policies and that's for around it and also should be the same thing. This argument of saying Chiramkura in their local language has been a topic about APA. But we heard the conversation in Babia and I think because for some of these policy takeoff, you make sure say all the critical arrangement that has to be done, no, why, and sign such a policy can your meeting I take place. For instance, said that menu I see say teacher ni or no anti ewe. Now what post to no then I call ewe so on ewe. It's not possible. So the question is, have these critical arrangements on the ground? No? So when you have them in place, now I think that will help because it's good culturally. Appropriate to say, baby, or language. Because that also give you some certain sense of identity. Baby, free and culturally, you'll be related. So I'm not sure say anybody who can downplay or be a yechen in the local language. But I think that the argument around it is overblown by a lot of people because sometimes you watch TV, you listen to radio, and the argument has always been, I think that argument is overblown because you see, the relationship between language and mind development is a completely different thing altogether. Because you see, world into a particular area, and whether you like it or not, English and the most formal language around the world. Everything around the world is the most popular language of BAU. So, and I did a master's program in China. I can tell you, so China, majority of the students want people to teach them to learn English. Because it has become some sort of a global language. So if you are unable to speak it, you'll be left out. And people say, we are fortunate we had that particular language because of maybe a free, but even though the history is quite bad. Because you see, people are paying millions this time. Italy and some other countries, people are paying much. Germany. Answer na obetimia ko school a ye kire brofo wo mu no na wonni sika wuntumi afford that particular thing. So fortunately for us we are lucky, and you see the relationship between language and your first development. America, English and your more official language. Almost they inherited it just like us. Canada, English and your more original language. They inherited, but I don't stop from their development. What I say, I don't know what adopting. How well can you use Hong Kong and Asia? I think Hong Kong was an English colony. After Opium War, and I'm adopted until 1997. Your friends say Ansana, UK, Asian, Hong Kong predominantly they speak English in as a form. So more or less, about language, what global transaction, it would happen. So let us not also in having this conversation, people are trying to sideline say, English no cry abandon no. Some sort of a colonial or imperial inheritance. As a young local language in there were universities in other places. I think that particular argument is very narrow, and yakasi caught that particular line. Yankasa you will end up na ya tu ya mana na ya kwakotom. So for me, I think it's good say at the basic level you better making sure say all the necessary way better man kra no and access to local languages. I bet me guide you no so cultural identity no monsa beka say the osika there are certain things akra no kind of brofo na wo san chire mu ono ankasa ne kasa mu na wo relate here. I think so at the basic level it should not be blunt to say the whole thing should be taught in local language. No, there should be some sort of a mixture. Because across school are baby more formative years or more picky everything. Yes, and so one sidestep for something, a language at that early stage. Say, Yamfa local and crash and do the nimua, Yachana Brofua. Akrano, one way or bebre. So I think that we need to blend. Now you're making sure in focusing on this particular way, we don't lose sight on the official language now, whether you like it or not, whether we inherited it through a colonial way or whatever, it has become a global language, the most popular language, and whatever happened in America, Canada, anywhere. By the virtue of the fact that you can speak English, you can automatically hear. Yeah. People are paying millions to understand, but they can't. What I say. So I think it's very, very important. We don't blare the other side. Now a conversation may narrow. Now you're making sure culturally we straighten some of these things. Quite recently, there is this thing that pop up about this. You say Obake and sometimes the underpinning conversations are so very nasty to the extent as a young person. So I think some of these things, we need to play them in context. Now motive, ne the kind of intent ne we are yawo na etimi drive what we want to achieve. Na me say totum sa keke na obi akeka bi sa na no the day no.
Minister Canada
yes, the creating confusion when you know say the necessary platform na say the ground. Na making sure say that implementation will go smoothly no. Yeah. I think say what be say on the local language you know. Some of the schools no crowd do say no much teacher for do say you produce or betimi speak that particular language. What I say. Because okor most of the teachers now you supposed to do now soundness. So exactly. So there should be a deliberate effort.
Madam Sakofi voter region. Abetina be cross correct matter this is.
Yes.
Why ya want me and catchy.
Yeah. So who can say policy?
It is our policy. Madam Sakofi better what the
I think that we need to be very pragmatic. Who can say now who can say say yes ana yeah then locals you know you be making sure say you be man for school say be they go back to their community and also teach the language and so forth. It's a multifaceted thing. It's not just narrow.
Posting okay I will say for yen try ho na yemra yeba yebeto aso amam.